When a woman starts to distance herself and even ignore you, it can be a confusing and often painful experience. The natural reaction is to try to make things well as soon as possible. Alternatively, even worse, react emotionally. But the truth is that your response to this situation can influence not only your relationship, but also your personal development and sense of self-worth. In this video, we'll go over 10 doable strategies you can use to keep your cool when a woman withdraws. For those of you who like integrating Stoic philosophy into your daily life, we'll be incorporating some Stoic principles throughout these steps. This will help you stay grounded, resilient, and focused on what you can control while letting go of what you can't. Ensure you like this video before we begin. Think clearly and approach the situation with wisdom rather than impulse. The focus here isn't just trying to win her back. It's about handling things in a way that honors your own self-respect and emotional strength. Now, if you're prepared to gain insight, develop inner strength, and approach this challenge with clarity, let's dive into number 1. When a woman distances herself, stay calm and composed. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on more content like this. It truly helps spread these insights to others who could benefit from them. It's all too familiar to begin repaying recent contacts, so your first reaction can be to panic and feel a knot in your gut. Examining every word and movement to see whether you said something incorrectly or if she is losing interest, your mind urges you to act right away. You could text her, call her, or do anything else to make things right and return them to normal. But this is the reality you must face. Calmness is the best course of action in this situation. Maintaining composure is crucial, especially when emotions are running high. Reacting out of panic or desperation will only drive her further away, while acting out of fear sends a message of insecurity, which is counterproductive in these situations. What initially appears as an attempt to win her back often ends up driving her away. The first reason is that when you exhibit emotional control and composure, you are exhibiting emotionally stable, grounded, and confident traits that are universally appealing. Emotional stability demonstrates that you don't panic when things don't go as planned, and that you don't need continual reassurance from others to keep your sense of well-being. This type of confidence is what attracts people, especially in times of uncertainty. Let's look at a typical situation. She no longer answers your texts. It may have been a day, 2 days, or longer, and you want to check in to see if anything is wrong or to confirm everything is fine. You might be tempted to text her repeatedly to get an explanation or to demand an answer. But here's a crucial fact. When she backs off, it's not a sign to chase her. Rather, it's a chance for you to think things through and give her the space she obviously needs. Silence is frequently an answer in and of itself. Giving her that distance gives her the chance to miss you, think about you, and decide for herself what she wants. People frequently withdraw because they need space to ponder or process their feelings. During this time, excessive communication will only overwhelm her and drive her farther away. While you're giving her that space, take care of yourself and stay grounded by doing the things that make you happy, whether it's working, playing hobbies, hanging out with friends, or working on personal development. This will demonstrate to her, and more importantly, to yourself, that your life isn't about her reactions. When you continue to live your life with confidence, it shows that you don't need her for emotional stability. Instead of pursuing her approval, you become the person she can rely on for stability during times of uncertainty. You are a complete individual with your own unique life, and that is truly appealing. Consider this from a Stoic standpoint. Epicurus once said that what matters is not what happens to you, but rather how you respond to it. You can control how you react, but not whether she backs off. This is where your response will determine how powerful you are. You maintain your composure, preserving your dignity and demonstrating your resistance to external circumstances. People will notice the reflection of your internal strength in your emotional poise. This composure is an active display of self-control, one of the fundamental Stoic virtues, rather than merely a passive waiting game. As you think about the significance of maintaining composure when a woman distances herself, I encourage you to think about how you can apply these Stoic principles in your own relationships. How do you usually respond in moments of uncertainty, and how might practicing emotional stability make a difference? Focusing on staying calm sets the tone for future interactions. Men who maintain their center and don't let external events like a brief silence throw them off balance tend to attract women. Please share your experiences and ideas about this strategy in the comments section below. Have you ever discovered that maintaining composure and allowing space enhanced your relationship? After you've calmed down, let's talk about number 2. Respect her personal space. After you've calmed down, the next crucial step is to respect her space. This is an area where many men make the mistake of attempting to resolve issues too quickly, believing that if they just talk it out or explain themselves, everything will go back to normal. Understand that when a woman withdraws, it doesn't always mean you need to do more. Sometimes the best thing you can do is nothing, at least not right away. In these situations, what she probably needs is time and space to process her own thoughts and feelings. Pushing for a settlement too quickly could backfire and cause her to feel overburdened or under pressure, which would only further exacerbate your isolation from one another. You're sending a powerful message when you respect her personal space, which is a certain indication of emotional intelligence and maturity. This demonstrates that you are secure and self-assured enough to take a step back without needing continual reinforcement, and I trust that you know what you need right now, and I won't interfere. It shows that you're not needy for her approval or attention, which is a really alluring quality. While calmness repels desperation, people are drawn to detachment, and letting the relationship breathe allows you both to think and possibly find out what initially drew you two together. Let's now envision a situation. You've been seeing each other regularly, spending quality time together, and things seem to be going well, but suddenly she starts pulling back. She doesn't respond to your texts as quickly, or she declines your invitations to hang out. It's natural to feel confused or even anxious in this situation. Your instincts might tell you to push for more time together, to force a conversation about what's going on, but this is precisely where many men stumble. Instead of pushing for more, the wisest move is to step back and let her come to you on her own terms. This doesn't mean you ignore her completely or play mind games. It simply means giving her the space she needs to reflect and process whatever's going on internally. This might be difficult at first, especially if you're eager to get answers or fix things, but the alternative of chasing after her will only create more tension and likely push her further away. People need space to think clearly, and by respecting her boundaries, you give her the opportunity to miss you and reassess the relationship without feeling suffocated in Stoicism. We're reminded to focus only on what we can control and to accept what we cannot. This idea is particularly pertinent in circumstances like these. You have no control over her emotions, her need for space, or her pace when determining how to proceed, but you do have control over how you react to her behavior. Rather than attempting to make things return to normal, take advantage of this opportunity to continue developing personally. Pursue your hobbies and maintain your own sense of fulfillment outside of the relationship. Not only does this keep you grounded, but it also demonstrates that your emotional state doesn't depend on someone else's validation or attention. Remember Marcus Aurelius's powerful UL words. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. If you focus all your energy on trying to control her actions or her feelings, you'll only feel more out of control and anxious. But when you let go of the need to control the situation, when you allow her to have the space she needs without interference, you regain your own peace of mind. This emotional freedom is invaluable, not just for you, but for the relationship as well. It gives her the room to reflect, and it keeps you from falling into the trap of overanalyzing or overreacting. Number 3, reflect on the situation. Now that you've given her the reflect on the situation space she needs, it's time to turn inward and engage in some meaningful self-reflection. This period provides an opportunity for you to contemplate the situation and your role in it, without succumbing to the trap of overanalyzing or hastily drawing conclusions. When a woman withdraws, it can be due to various factors, some of which may not be directly related to you. Alternatively, there could have been subtle signals or shifts in the dynamic that you overlooked, leading her to take a step back. The goal here isn't to place blame on her or on yourself, but to understand the bigger picture with clarity and honesty. When utilized constructively, self-reflection serves as a powerful tool that allows you to step back and assess the situation without succumbing to emotion or impulse. During this time, ask yourself some crucial questions. Have there been any recent arguments or miscommunications that might have caused this? Were there any times when her energy changed, even slightly? Could there be outside influences on her life, like work-related stress, family matters, or personal difficulties that could be affecting the way she's interacting with you at the moment? Think about how that conversation went. Did you truly hear her worries, or did you ignore her emotions without fully understanding that they remained unresolved? For instance, suppose you had a minor disagreement the last time you were together. At the time, it might not have seemed like a big deal. Perhaps it was a small comment or a slight misunderstanding that you brushed off. Now that she is pulling away, you're beginning to wonder if that moment carried more weight for her than you initially thought. Since Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "He who is brave is free," it takes a certain level of bravery to reflect on the truth and look at yourself and your actions with honesty and humility, but this bravery is also liberating when you face the truth head-on. This kind of honest reflection can give you valuable insights into what might be going on beneath the surface. It's important to remember that self-reflection isn't about obsessing over every little detail or harshly criticizing yourself. Rather, it's about approaching the situation with an open mind and a willingness to understand the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Clarity emerges from this type of reflection, and emotional power follows. Regardless of whether you find a specific reason for her distance, you will leave this process with a better understanding of both the situation and yourself. Perhaps you didn't do anything wrong, and her need for space stems more from her personal struggles, or perhaps there are opportunities for both your personal and relationship growth. Stoicism encourages us to constantly reflect and practice self-awareness, not as a form of self-punishment, but as a tool for building strength and wisdom. Regardless of the outcome, every interaction, even the difficult ones, offers us something to learn. Reflect on her possible reasons for being away and how this moment can help you grow. By thinking back on the situation, you can learn to adjust and approach future interactions with a clearer mind and a steadier heart. Rather than succumbing to doubt or fear, you can confront the situation with the assurance that stems from comprehending the broader picture and maintaining self-awareness. When you take the time to consider the circumstances with this kind of perspective, you'll discover that even in the face of uncertainty, you're learning something worthwhile. I urge you to think about how this reflective period can result in increased emotional intelligence and personal development. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. How do you approach self-reflection in relationships? Please share your experience in a comment or simply state that growth starts with the fourth reflection. Self-reflection, when approached with honesty and openness, is a gift that allows you to see the big picture and align with your true self. Whether you find clarity in the reason for her distance or recognize areas for your own growth, this process is essential for building stronger connections in the future. Concentrate on improving yourself. Among the most, focus on self-improvement. Putting your focus on yourself when you're alone is empowering. This doesn't mean waiting for her to get in touch with you or wondering what she's thinking. Rather, it means making the most of this time to truly invest in your own personal development. This strategy accomplishes two main goals. First, it gives you back your self-assurance and sense of control. Second, it shows that you are independent of her for your happiness. Men who are working on improving themselves are inherently attractive to women. When you're actively working on becoming the best version of yourself, it shows that you're thriving independently, which is incredibly attractive. So take this opportunity to work on your physical health, mental well-being, and personal goals, whether it's starting a new workout routine, developing a skill, or simply spending more quality time with friends. These actions not only boost your confidence, but also communicate that your life is full and meaningful with or without her presence. For example, let's say you've always wanted to pick up a new hobby like learning to play the guitar, painting, or starting a fitness journey. Now is the perfect time to dive into that. By pursuing these interests, you're not only improving yourself, but also filling your time with activities that enrich your life. When she sees that you're focused on growth and self-betterment, it sends a subtle yet powerful message. You are confident, self-sufficient, and continuously evolving. This serves as a reminder of what she might be missing, not through games or manipulation, but through your authentic journey of self-improvement. This time apart is an opportunity to grow into the man you want to be, not a time to sit around and mope over things beyond your control. The real victory lies in your own personal growth, so stop worrying about what she's doing or when she will reach out, and instead ask yourself, what can I do today that will make me a better version of myself tomorrow? By focusing on your own growth, you'll not only regain your sense of confidence and control, but you'll also create a life that's worth living regardless of the outcome. And that's the fifth real victory, according to Marcus Aurelius. Talk with assertiveness. Be assertive in your communication rather than frantic. You'll probably want to contact someone, but how you react is crucial. When you do decide to reach out, the key is to communicate in a calm, clear, and assertive manner without coming off as needy. Your goal is to show her that while you're open to communication, you're not dependent on it, you respect her space, and you're emotionally stable regardless of how she responds. Many men make the mistake of reaching out from a place of desperation, sending emotional messages or demanding explanations in the hopes of receiving immediate reassurance. However, the truth is that desperation is ugly because it conveys a lack of emotional control, and that's the last impression you want to give her. Instead of sending numerous frantic messages like, "Why aren't you answering?" or "Are you mad at me?" desperation conveys insecurity, whereas assertiveness conveys confidence. Xenia, say something like, "Hey, I noticed you've needed some space. I just wanted to let you know that I'm here whenever you're ready to talk." This respectful and straightforward letter demonstrates that you understand her need for space, but are also mature enough to communicate with her without putting undue pressure on her. By framing your comments in this way, you establish a space where she can participate when she's ready without feeling pressured or overburdened. Setting appropriate limits for yourself is another aspect of communicating assertively. While you wait for her response, you're living your life. When you can manage the issue coolly and without losing your cool, it shows emotional maturity and self-respect. When she does decide to reply stoically, this strategy not only improves your relationship but also raises the likelihood of a fruitful discussion. When the conversation finally starts, make sure to concentrate on listening more than speaking to show her that you're not just trying to get your point across or get validation, but that you're genuinely interested in understanding her perspective. Epictetus emphasizes the value of listening over speaking, reminding us that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, allowing us to listen twice as much as we speak. This type of communication cultivates a stronger bond by showcasing your groundedness, attentiveness, and consideration for her emotions. By speaking assertively rather than frantically, you set an example of maturity and respect, and let her know that, even though you value the relationship, you don't rely on her for emotional stability. By doing this, you create an atmosphere that allows for open, meaningful communication to occur, which leads to a healthier, more balanced connection. If you've read this far, I encourage you to think about how you communicate in trying circumstances. Please feel free to express your opinions in the comments section below if you can maintain composure and assertiveness, or if you occasionally allow desperation to take over. If someone else is experiencing a similar situation, your advice could be very helpful. Alternatively, if you prefer to keep things simple, just kind. In order to support the mindset you're developing, number 6, I prefer assertiveness above desperation. Control your expectations for yourself. At this point, things can become challenging, so it's crucial to manage your expectations. It's normal to think that when you approach her, she'll react right away, perhaps even apologize, and things will get back to normal. However, you can't predict how she will react. She might open up or still need more space. In any case, you need to be emotionally and psychologically ready for anything that might happen. It's simple to get attached to a certain outcome when emotions are running high. You might hope for reconciliation or expect her to respond in a way that reassures you, but holding on to these expectations can lead to disappointment if things don't work out as planned. This is one of the main lessons of Stoicism, accepting things as they are rather than how we wish they were. Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own thoughts and behaviors and to let up on the impulses to control the outside world. Regardless of her response to your well-written, kind message, whether she chooses to maintain distance from you or reconnects with you, you need to establish inner stability. Don't spend the entire day glued to your phone. The goal is to maintain your own sense of calm and composure regardless of the outcome, so instead of waiting anxiously for her response, go about your day and do things that keep you grounded and focused on your own life. It's important to keep yourself mentally prepared for any response, positive, negative, or none at all. If she responds and the conversation proceeds smoothly, that's a positive step, but if not, that's okay too. This is where Stoic wisdom really shines. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that you are in control of your thoughts, not external circumstances. Understanding this will give you strength. You cannot influence her choices or feelings, but you can influence their responses by concentrating on your own feelings and ideas. You get stronger again. Strength originates internally from your capacity to maintain composure under pressure or in unpredictable circumstances, not from approval from others or her reaction. By controlling your expectations, you can protect your emotional health and project a calm, self-assured presence that is ultimately very appealing. Only your behavior can be controlled, but inner stability will help you regardless of the outcome. It's not about giving up hope, Rather, it's about releasing yourself from the need to control the uncontrollable and finding peace in the process, rather than being obsessed with the outcome. 7th place. Avoid playing video games. This is really important. Despite the temptation to post something on social media that suggests you're having fun without her, or even ignore her back to see if she will pursue you, these tactics, driven by insecurity, rarely yield the desired results. In fact, they frequently backfire, increasing tension and distance between you. When you play games, you're not acting from a place of strength or authenticity, but rather reacting out of fear or frustration. While controlling her emotions may seem like a way to get back control of the situation, in practice, it only undermines trust because she will see through it, and instead of bringing her closer, it will probably drive her farther away. In contrast, choosing to be genuine and authentic builds a foundation of genuine attraction because authenticity demonstrates confidence, and confidence is far more alluring than manipulation ever will be. Maybe you're tempted to post a photo of yourself with another woman or show off how much fun you're having without using these tactics, but instead, just live your life honestly. Share your joy with friends, but don't do it to make her jealous or provoke a reaction. By motivating your actions with self-assurance instead of mind games, you show her that you're confident enough to avoid unnecessary drama and don't need to resort to petty tactics. Marcus Aurelius once remarked that the effects of anger are far more terrible than the causes. When you act out of jealousy, spite, or frustration, the harm you cause is far worse than the temporary sense of control or relief that playing games may provide. In the long run, this often leads to regret, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings on both sides. Now that we've discussed the significance of authenticity over playing games, the better course of action is to rise above the games, maintain your dignity, stay true to yourself, and concentrate on handling the situation with maturity and respect. This will not only keep you emotionally stable, but it will also show her that you value honesty and self-respect over mind games and manipulation. By doing this, you establish a higher bar for the relationship and the treatment you expect in return. Spend some time thinking back on your personal experiences. Have you ever found yourself tempted to use similar strategies in a relationship when faced with distance? If so, how did it affect your connection with your partner? We'd love to know what you think. Share your tale by leaving a comment below. Someone else going through a similar scenario might find your viewpoint helpful. Let's continue the discussion at number 8. Provide her with a sense of, give her a sense of safety. The most important thing you can do is to give her a sense of emotional safety so that when she eventually reaches out, or you have a chance to speak, she will feel secure. Creating an environment where she feels comfortable being vulnerable and honest with you is more important than blaming her for everything or avoiding important issues. If she feels judged, attacked, or misunderstood, she's likely to shut down again, making it difficult for the relationship to move forward. Even when the conversation becomes difficult, your goal is to make sure she feels heard, valued, and understood. For example, if she contacts you after a week of no communication, it's normal to want answers immediately, such as why you ignored her or what's been on your mind. However, asking her confrontational questions right away can make her feel cornered or defensive. Interest and compassion. Asking her how she's been feeling during the time apart and allowing her to express her feelings without interrupting or responding defensively demonstrates to her that you are emotionally mature, patient, and capable of handling anything she has to say, regardless of how simple it is to hear. Once she feels comfortable enough to open up, resist the urge to criticize or pass judgment. Focus on listening intently to what she is saying, absorbing not just the words, but also the emotions that accompany them. Show her that you appreciate her viewpoint, even if it differs from your own. This degree of emotional stability on your behalf can have a significant impact. Keeping your cool and showing emotional control will boost her confidence. Epicus. No man is free who is not master of himself, according to a Stoic philosopher. By controlling your emotions, you not only preserve your inner peace, but also provide a secure emotional environment in which she may freely express herself, making you a source of solace and security. She will feel more confident in your ability to handle challenging situations if you continue to be composed and honest, especially during unpleasant conversations, because she will know she can always count on you, no matter what. This trust will further solidify your relationship and draw her closer to you. The 9th. It's simple to become engrossed in the details, so keep your eyes on the broad picture. The intensity of the current moment is crucial, especially when emotions are running high. In these circumstances, you may feel tempted to act rashly or base judgments on transient emotions, but Stoicism emphasizes the value of stepping back and looking at the wider picture. Like life itself, relationships are full of ups and downs, and a single event, whether favorable or unfavorable, does not define the entire path. Just because she is currently distant doesn't mean that the relationship is over, and even if everything is going well right now, it's still important to evaluate the direction of your connection overall. Rather than letting a single instance of distance or conflict motivate you, adopting a more comprehensive view can preserve clarity and wisdom. You can also consider the relationship's long-term health and your own personal development. Relationships offer growth and learning beyond being with someone. Perhaps this time apart is merely a small setback in a solid relationship. Or perhaps it's a sign that some things need to change for the relationship to proceed in a healthy manner. The important thing is to avoid overreacting. Is this temporary distance just a passing phase, or is it revealing deeper issues that necessitate attention by examining the situation closely? In the heat of the moment, zooming out and taking the big picture into consideration helps you make judgments with wisdom rather than emotion. When you approach it holistically, you allow yourself the room to assess it without allowing anger or worry to get in the way. Impair your judgment. Epicurus once said, "What matters now is not what happens to you, but how you respond to it." Don't let one challenging period overshadow your relationship's greater story, whether it's a week of silence or a single argument. Every relationship has moments of tension, distance, and challenge, but how you handle them shapes the course of your connection. By stepping back, reflecting on the larger context, and maintaining your emotional equilibrium, you'll be better equipped to guide the relationship in a way that serves both of your long-term needs. Stoic wisdom reminds you to remain steady and not let a temporary situation dictate your overall perspective. By focusing on the bigger picture, you're also giving yourself the opportunity to grow. Building a strong, long-lasting connection where short-term setbacks don't ruin the larger picture is the aim. The 10th journey. Be ready to move. Be ready to move forward. We all want the best in relationships, but it's important to be prepared for anything. You must be prepared to move on with your life, with or without her, whether she returns or not. This isn't about losing hope, but rather about developing an attitude of independence and resilience by letting go of attachment to a certain result. You relieve yourself of needless tension and worry. You can now move forward with confidence, knowing you'll grow and thrive regardless of the circumstances, without worry. If she chooses to move on, it doesn't mean you've failed. Relationships can end for a variety of reasons, sometimes simply because the connecting action wasn't right for her. While this realization may be painful, it's crucial to realize that it's an opportunity for you to embrace new possibilities and open doors rather than a reflection of your value. All relationships, whether they are successful or not, teach you important things. Carry those lessons into the future, but don't allow them to stop you. Growth results from advancing rather than remaining mired in the past. According to the renowned Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, the quality of your ideas determines how happy your life will be. Even when this chapter concludes, there are still things to be grateful for, as you have gained more self-awareness and wisdom from the experience. This insight is especially crucial while dealing with relationship uncertainty. By concentrating on hope, growth, and the future rather than dwelling on the past, you can use your ideas to influence your reality. Being ready to move on doesn't mean you've lost interest in yourself. It means you prioritize your own well-being. If she returns, you'll be prepared to accept the relationship with fresh insight. If not, you'll be prepared to move forth on your journey with fortitude and resiliency. As we wrap up today's conclusion investigation into handling the situation when a woman pulls away, it's important to reflect on the insights we've shared and remember that the essence of our discussion isn't just about rekindling a connection, but also nurturing your self-respect and emotional resilience. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control external outcomes, but we can control how we respond to them. So whether the relationship continues or ends, you remain in control of your own path, constantly growing and moving forward. This method promotes significant personal growth in addition to aiding in the management of interpersonal interactions. We've guided you through doable actions and Stoic ideas to help you remain calm and wise when dealing with relationship difficulties. This means focusing on your actions and reactions, which you can control. By putting these strategies into practice, you're not only trying to change the dynamics of your relationships, but also strengthening your inner peace and strength. Now, I'd love to hear your opinions and experiences. Have you encountered comparable circumstances? What tactics worked for you? Share your experiences in the comments section below. Your insights might help someone else in need. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos like it. Also, don't forget to watch the suggested videos on your screen for more discussions and advice. Thank you for watching, and keep in mind that every obstacle is a chance to get stronger and wiser. These obstacles may serve as the necessary next step in your pursuit of relational and personal clarity. Let's keep going and continue this trip together.